Hey, welcome to this short journal in Manifesting the Impossible. I'll try to keep it brief. So, elements you have on a very baseline of reality. You have this camera that's attached to your head, how you move the camera, and you're in a physical experience. If you go beyond to the camera itself, where you feel that is in your body, and then behind the camera, there's a camera operator, which is you. Now, when you retrieve the awareness through the camera and you look, what does this camera operator look like? It's the void. Okay, it's the void. So that emptiness is the potential in which that projects the awareness, and then the reality construct is added onto that. Now, so everything is relative. What you experience here is your physical avatar in a room, and everything reflects the physical reality is a collapse of a wave function, so it's all vibration that collapses into physical appearance. It reflects your understanding of yourself and the reality. Okay, so it's like a feedback loop. Also, there are multiple timelines, so if you would change your understanding, your inner standing of reality, so not like the intellectual belief, but what is the structure of that belief, then the room would shift. Actually, the vibration would shift, and the room would shift, and the physical objects could also shift. So let me give you a easier example to digest. So instead of just going into a dyslexic reality where like it feels like you're on acid and everything is just like wiggling, right? So you want it to be physical, you want it to be collapsed, so you can make choices where you assign your intention and your will into a formation, and then you have things that are cute because you made them or you chose them. Okay, so physical reality benefits you, but then you can also shift it. Now, before it starts to be untangible and 5D and kind of like animated, because this is a higher frequency and you need to get your information, because you already install information to interface with objects in space. So your body understands physicality. Now, if you want it to be non-physical, it's going to confuse, and you're going to feel limitation inside of your vehicle, because vehicle is an object that interacts with objects. So before you do that, do this one. I'm in a room and wave function is collapsed, so I'm in a physical reality. Outside a door, though, is a Schrodinger's cat. So when I open the door, because I don't see what is behind the door, it's not collapsed yet. So there are multiple timelines every time I open the door. If I change my invocation, that changes my expectation. We will go into that. Then outside in the street will be a different reality. So let's say I'm feeling tired. I open the door and my neighbor is there and is like, hey, how is it going? I'm just like, got so drunk last night, I'm like super tired. I'm like, okay, see you later. Or I'm feeling like, elevate, let's do this. And then I open the door, there's my neighbor in the street, and I say, hey, how you doing? Life is great, high five. Alright, so reality reflects your vibration. And there are actually multiple realities outside the door. So this is first, like, before, when I learned manifestation, I was manifesting freaking parking spot in a downtown area where it's like physically impossible to find the parking. I was literally seeing that like a preview in my mind screen, that before I go in the street around the corner, there is like multiple streets. And so in my mind, I would select the street where somebody is just parking out of the space right in front of my residence. Okay. And then if I would choose the belief or vibration, I will never find parking spot, then I would collapse into that. So this is the assumption of a linear physical reality, is a disappointment loop. There is no something, you project there is no something, then you internalize there is no something, then you disappoint, there is no something, and then you project again, there is no something, and then you looping in a negative feedback loop. If you say, okay, I'll just shift where this is effortless, because just mind says, okay, instead of that not being there, I choose that being there, and then the timeline reloads, and I'm going with the car, and in the street somebody's parking out of that, and I'm moving into that spot. Okay, so now when you train yourself to do a parking spot, it's something that you kind of take for granted, or you have accumulated a huge story of resistance about parking and driving and all these people that are just parking, and how the municipality is like dividing these parking spaces, and you have a big fucking accumulation of reactivity and just interpretation based on that physical representation. So before you can just make it effortless, you need to take it for granted. You need to have no story attached. All right? So then money is really easy when you have no story attached. Because here's the thing, the story creates a gap, because the story is dual. On the screen, in the void, the self, that is the awareness, is one with all the objects that arise in the reality construct. So self is the awareness. From that awareness, reality construct crystallizes, and then on top of reality construct, you can say, I am this, and he's the horsey, so this is me and this is him. And then if I say, I love horses, I'm closing the gap, and I'm feeling one with that horse. If I say, that horse kicked me, and then I need to go, and like I need to la 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 horse, and then a horse, and then I blah blah blah, and then I gave a horse to my friend, then when you're telling this story, you're creating this subject-object separation, and then there's subject, verb, object, and I'm going to ride the horse. Or I have to get to the horse, and then I'm going to ride the horse, and then when I ride the horse, I will then fuse with the horse, right? But if you're just like an animal lover, then there is a symbiosis between you and this other being, when the horse then intuitively understands your intention while you're riding it, and you become fused in a synergy like you're one. So you're becoming one with your timeline, and you're becoming one with the horse, and you're becoming one with the parking, and you're becoming one with the money, right? Okay, so interpretations of a dual-based narrative or physical objectivity-based narrative and all your stories, they create the gap. When you're bridging the gap, you're resetting the story, you're throwing the story out, and you're just making yourself one with whatever that is. Now, the story is not just the story that is like, I say I'm one with the horse, or I say I'm one with the timeline, or I say I'm in a unity consciousness in my lingo little here head-based intellect. It is the memory that is stored in the body that creates then polarity with every desire that is driving you. There's a resistance, and this is then your soul's journey, because wherever there is desire, there is resistance, because when you then unify, when you close the gap with your desire through your spiritual journey to enlightenment, your business journey to $1 million or $1 billion or whatever your ideal partner, when you're closing that gap, you are transmuting your duality, your separation. Okay, so then it becomes your soul journey to become a horseback rider. Okay, and then through the steps of your journey, there will be then resistance or problems occurring, where then you need to push through, and then when you unite with a horse, then you're united with God, because now you just exited this duality separation memory of your body, and you are one with this. Would you? Okay. So we are working with 3 components here, and then we're going to do alchemical process to make the impossible possible. And one component, as I said, is the emptiness. So you need to exit the camera and know yourself that you are that you hold this whole reality, the room, and then the guy talking inside the room, and the horses, and all of these other things, like Money Cat, and what is this? Dragon Ball dude. All of these are aspects, like little formations of your consciousness that became crystallized as some type of thought form that then became physical object. Okay, so it's all inside of you. The reality construct and its parts are inside of you. So when we talk about, human experience, we're all about the parts and juxtaposition between the parts. See, I am subject, verb, going to ride a horse. So this keeps us in a simulation of duality. So the separation is simulated. Now, when your body remembers that fire burns and then you don't want to be hit by a car and all this, then the memory of that duality serves you until you're ready to transcend on the next level. So your fear, your limitation, your resistance is serving your physical survival. You see how that works? But it's simulated because the objects are simulated. So now when you're learning how to control the reality from the mind screen and just shift timelines or manifest, then you don't need to rely on what your body is telling you that it's gonna be so horrid. I don't want to go. Because you want to make yourself feel like, no, when I go, it's gonna flow. Actually, I feel in the now, I feel like it's flowing, and then I'm going and it's effortless. And then snap my fingers and there's a horse, and and snap my fingers and then money in the bank account, and snap the fingers and then what you. Okay, so you're alchemizing, you're transforming your energetic memory. What is your energetic memory like? It's like bunch of hieroglyphic light code that is imagery of your experience of reality, then is then kind of like spirally stored into your energy body, and then that is superimposed with your physical body. So transformation of this energy, first of all, you need to be what? Empowered. How do you be empowered? So this is the three things that we have. We have desire, we have resistance, and we have the self, in which desire and resistance, the yin and the yang, whatever is this play of the opposites, they're taking place. I want to ride a horse and money raining on my divine ass, and like I've just in a Canarian Islands and there's honey dripping on my skin and milk, and it's just like so cool. And then I feel insecure, I feel tired, and then I don't know what to do. So you want to skip your uncertainty, because it will never project the Canarian Islands riding horse with honey dripping and milk on your body, whatever. It will never, timeline will never collapse, the wave function will never collapse until you are feeling this polarity, this uncertainty. So amazing thing about polarity and uncertainty is that even though it is recorded in your body as these light letters or whatever, it's all a reality construct that is imagined by your awareness. So your karma, your threshold of tolerance, your comfort zone, everything is memorized and it's imaginary. And the physical reality is imaginary, so why wouldn't your reactivity patterns and your restriction patterns, your condition patterns, your fear, why wouldn't they be imaginary? Meow. Okay. So you want to know thyself, and then when you, here's the tip, when you feel that big guy behind the camera that is dimensionless, you need to inquire into it to say like, so is this me outside space and time, and like, am I formless, am I dimensionless, or then I can shapeshift and become whatever type of energy formation that I am? Yes. And I'm the multiverse? Yes. So you can capture that dot, that 0 point self, with your fingers, with your imagination, and from like whatever that is inside of your heart or behind you, you bring it here, because that dot is absolute. It's not here in reality construct, so it can be anywhere. So you want to hold it, because, and then you want to also inquire into can I invoke the multiverse from this dot? Actually, there's infinite power and infinite potential inside the dot, that by the word, let there be light, and the will of that God, the multiverse is then incarnated. So yes, you are then infinitely powerful inside the dots. So you hold the dots, so you can just bring yourself into the knowing, and you first invoke. What I've said is a suggestion. If you don't invoke it, you won't feel it. But if you invoke it, you want to say, I want to feel inside of my body that I am this that is projecting the multiverse. Invoke the feeling and the knowing, and then in your body you might feel like goosebumps and stuff. Because, oh, wow. And so now you know that by the omnipotence of you that is not yet loomed in this construct, you can expand into space and vibration and knit and loom yourself into this reality with the horse here and this magical thing here. Okay, so bam, now you know what you're working with. Now you're working with, I'm here in the constellation of this looming of reality. By the way, this is looming, another word for it is tantra. So reality is looming, is a looming of vibration. And in this looming of vibration, I feel desire that is closing the gap. So with me being in unity consciousness with my timeline, with my horse, with my everything, in an effortless way. And when you are in the unity consciousness, everything is this easy to manifest. It doesn't feel like you need to desire it and like fight for it or whatever. It just feels like effortless. Like it just feels like standardly effortless, like your parking spot or your cup of coffee or whatever you're doing. It just feels like, actually, I invoked a like lottery ticket to crystallize from the void into physicality. Winning lottery ticket, by the way, I picked the biggest one, and then I spoke, let there be light, that is loomed as this ticket, and it's 100-something million euro. And then it shows up because it just falls from the sky into my lap. And then it fell, but it was tomorrow. It fell into my lap. And so you know what? I was in Asia and the ticket was from Europe. So I never ever go to cash it in. But with this level of snappiness, you don't even need to use the money because you're just creating timeline on the go. So I go to restaurant broke, physically broke, no physical cash is in appearance of my possession. And I sit in the restaurant and I'm like, I want a burger or a cheeseburger or whatever. And then this is timeline created where it's like I'm just getting served for free, or I don't know, somebody's like, hey, we ordered this and we have to go, and they give me the burger, and then they give me the villa with a swimming pool and a giant head of a Buddha statue, and the things come without even having this gap to close. Like, okay, I need to go to the restaurant and I need to earn the money to buy the burger. No, there's no gap. You're just one. So whatever is appearing in your timeline because it's already one with you, and there's no how to. Okay. So I manifested this ticket to show to my friend, and she was saying that there is or she was experiencing a conditioning around spending money. So I just wanted to say, but already she was awakened in God consciousness. But she was saying conditioning about spending money is something like a program. I'm like, okay, but like, look, I wrote a formula and the ticket showed up. But then when I showed her the ticket in this way, like, so look, now we have $100 million. Like, just like going, what I was showing here is like, imagine you don't see this, and then you're having a different conversation with me, and I'm like, can't you see this ticket? And she'd be like, not physically registering that I was holding this. And I'm like, okay, weird. And I was like, what's up? And then, okay, everybody has their own VR headset, so you are projecting your own vibrational looming based on your own interpretation of reality. So if I see angels here in the room, or somebody might be watching this video and you see like little orbs flying, right, around me, and like I'm pinging this information with all these orbs, or somebody might see them as angels or whatever, and then another person watching this video, you don't see the shiny orbs. Because it's the allowance that you embody. Okay, so you're preset, you're programmed. Now, look, don't worry if you have fear or resistance, because look, we all need to learn how to walk and talk. And here's me, after manifesting everything by snapping my fingers, I got into some trauma and then physically collided with objects, and then I just felt this inversion of I am all everythingness. When that became physically reversed because I had impacts and then trauma in the body, I couldn't manifest because I don't feel like I deserve, because my energy of the I am, it becomes inverted. So with this self-denial energy or self-reversal energy, you don't feel like worthy, you don't feel effortless, you feel like scared, actually. And the body feels scared or traumatized. So then for 3 years I can't manifest actually with like this effortlessness. And even then I like invoke something and then I cannot, my body cannot like operate. I get anxious and I cannot go into that timeline where that is already one with me. So I can't walk the timeline because I can't walk my own body. You see that? But that's okay, because I'm learning in every 7-year cycle. I defragment my fear, my trauma. So I'm learning more and more how to also be doing this in a way that's, first of all, safer, so you don't get traumatized all the time, and then defragmenting the impacts of memory. And this is why I know also how to explain to you how to, if you have inversed or reversed energy, if you have this resistance to your desire, I know how to explain how to transform it. So first of all, let's re-up this. You are the void, projecting the awareness outside of this light-dark energy becomes potentiality that is then expressed as vibrations. Okay, it can be either like light energy or dark energy. It's the same energy, you just flip it. It's potential. Okay, so potential then looms itself between light and dark into vibration and then become. So when you open the door, if you change your mood, there will be a different street with different neighbors, different mood. The reality will be reflecting your mood. When you have resistance to the desire, this is how you work with it. First of all, you need to explain to your subconscious, your energetic memory, your body, that you are the author. So you need to feel in your body that you are the author. So you can say, I invoke the feeling of authority. That all of these inscriptions in my body, my memory, even if it's like resistance or just like joy, whatever, I am playing inside of this game that I authored, and then I receive this energetic memory, but I can transform it, or I can tell it, because everything is intelligence, so you can tell it to dissolve or transform. Now, this can be like, you tell it to dissolve from 0 point, it's commanded, and then all of a sudden in your body you feel like energy work. And it may knock you out. If you want to dissolve it all at once, it may knock you out for 48 hours, you sleeping, or for a month. And I have these episodes where I just want to get a quantum shift, because I get tired of my loop, of my whatever my reality feedback loop is, and then I say I'm going to quantum shift in something to completely different, and then for a month I'm like sleeping, and then like can't walk, body is exhausted, because the energy body is just rewriting everything, and then you wake up one day and your timeline is presented. So just like this. So now you need to decide whether you want to do it casually, effortlessly, softly, gently, or you want to do it intensely, so there you need to take cold showers every day, and then breathwork, and then kriya, and then because you can transform everything. Like, even if you're dying and you do like a 6-hour kriya, you're gonna be brand new. But it's intense work. Okay, but then you can program this reality in whatever way you want. Now, this is something that I can talk from so many angles, and I could give you so many tips, but it would take a whole freaking day, or 7 days, or at least, for you to actually even not just like hear what I said, but also like entrain your body to remember and apply that. Okay, so I'm giving you nuggets, and then if you apply them, you will know. If you just hear this, it will not serve you because it goes into one ear and then goes out the other. This knowing something cannot change how your body feels, how your energetic memory feels. But invoking a change from your 0 point self can then change everything. And I mean, you are the overlord. So let's say, I have a computer and there's Clean My Mac application that says, here's all the apps that you don't use and here's cache files that we're going to delete for you. And I click OK, and then this app cleans the cache. And so if you're a Mac user or whatever PC, if you wanted to clean the cache, you need to go into first online and read where the freak is the cache folder, because something is like occupying my memory and I don't even know what it is. It's like junk stuff or stuff from before that I'm not using, but it feels like a restriction to my operating system. So then you need to find, now this folder is hidden, now you need to go into System Manager, you need to, so it's in the subconscious, it's a hidden folder. Okay, you need to go to System Preferences, and then you need to click Show Hidden Folders. Now you can look into your subconscious, and now here's the cache, and now go and delete, but there's more folders, but now you have to go recycle all of these. So manually doing this would be using even like hypnosis or any other healing modality that is not quantum 0 point authorship. When you the fucking author, pardon my French, you first need to invoke the feeling that you are the author. The author of not just your own single divine ass destiny here in your little skin here, but you are the author of the multiverse. So know that. Know thyself first. Then when you know that, what's a little bit energetic memory? What's a little bit energetic memory? Mentolatum. Or something. Mentolatum, yes. Now, okay, few more tricks. Now when you start saying, so I am informing my body that for me to become one with the horse is now effortless. I'm already one with the horse. But everything that is pushing against, everything that I memorized that is creating the feeling, the experience in the simulator of duality that I'm not one with the horse, I let it dissolve, or I command it to dissolve, or whatever the words is like intuitive for you. So you understand your separation from something, you chose that energetic memory. Consciously or unconsciously, you just accumulate it. Now you want to say, okay, I'm choosing, I'm one with the horse, and you're going to say, why? Because in a higher truth of this reality, this is so, or find a reason that you're going to explain to your subconscious. I can have this, and it's already mine, and it's here right now, and I'm one with it. Because this is the feeling, this is the interpretation that I, from the 0 point, am projecting as my chosen timeline. And I am absolutely a rightful owner and author of this reality. Now, whatever in the body does not feel like, whoopee, whoo, ride the horse, blah, 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 already now, because when you feel already now, you feel yes, then it's going to be effortlessly manifested, inserted into your timeline, and you can even like bring it tomorrow or bring it here now. You can like schedule timeline stuff. The higher self does this for you, or the higher intelligence does this to you, so you don't have to bother with the production and the editing. So you don't need to know. You can enjoy your human ass experience. You don't need to know how the timeline is assembled or when something, everything is going to happen in a divine timeline, because it will occupy too much of your RAM memory to now like even go and script the details. I want it to happen tomorrow at 6 o'clock. But you can, because when you know that you are the author, then all of this intelligence that is the reality construct works for you. There is only one master, your 0 point self, guy behind the camera. Only one master, master of the multiverse. He-Man, you know. So you want then to start your invocation by, if there is a God, like I don't know myself to be the master of the multiverse, but if there is, maybe that's Doctor Strange or Spider-Man or somebody else. But if there is the truth to what Jovan is saying, I'm open to feel it. Now I'm more than open, I'm curious. No, I'm more, so start with, I'm first, like I have resistance to believe I am God or whatever, or I know that already, but like it doesn't feel in my body that I can just like manifest like things out of thin air or whatever, like Jesus, turn this water into wine, right? So it has to, yes, you are God of the multiverse, but creator of the multiverse, but you have to make it also feel natural to your physical body that water shifts into wine. Okay, makes sense? So you're then invoking this comfort and effortlessness. So first you're invoking, let's say, degrees. Hey, I'm open to feel if what Jovan is saying is true. I'm open to feel and realize, and like I wouldn't mind God revealing itself to me. And then actually I'm super curious and I really want to know, so fuck you God, like reveal yourself to me now. And then actually I'm commanding that this knowing and feeling is now coming through all 14 layers of reality construct dimensions and 0 point into my body, and I can just feel it. I want to feel it, I know it. And then you start to giggle like a motherfucker. I said it, motherfucker. Sorry mom. No. I don't know. Okay, so you, and even if you just go beyond the camera, you will start to giggle. Because if you go beyond the camera and you ask like, who am I beyond the camera, you will start to giggle. Because it's the neutrality that you have towards this like desire and fear and whatever just makes this guy, your avatar, giggle. Okay, because it's all a theater, isn't it? So now that you know that you're transforming your theatrical script that is memorized in your body, then you're going to say, okay, if I can, and inquire, can I create infinite multiverse from just projecting my own will into like these balloons of like space-time? Wow, you know, so what's a little bit of energetic memory to transmute? So I'm transmuting my resistance to the horse, owning a horse, riding a horse, being one with the horse. I'm telling to my subconscious to dissolve that. And also then if you relax, you will feel little wheels running in your body, your chakras or whatever, they're like rewriting this information. Clean my Mac. What to do? Mastermind. Using the operating system, right? And then, of course, my mom is like, my computer is slow, Jovan, my computer is slow again. And I'm like, okay, mom, let me see. Okay, yeah, probably like everything is like, do you need these photos? Okay, you have duplicate photos, delete. Clean my Mac app, like defragment everything. Click. Hey, thank you, now it's working again. I'm like, okay, mom, you need to close the tabs from time to time. You're just like overloading with cache memory. So humans, we open tabs in this reality and then we store information and then we are feeling resistance and then we want to go through, but like unloading from time to time. It's like cleansing energetically, you know. And also you can prescribe the moods. Now, I'm gonna go and have a cig. But you can also preload from 0 point moods of self-realization, self-empowerment. So any texture, any mood, any vibration, you can invoke that into your body. So when you're doing transformation and you don't know, you're not sure, or you want to ride a horse and you don't know you're sure, or you want to manifest money and you don't know you're sure, you can invoke certainty. The certainty is a vibrational feeling. You invoke that from 0 point. All of a sudden, even though there is a resistance, I'm invoking certainty that with certainty and knowing, I can also dissolve this resistance with the feeling and vibration of effortlessness. Okay, so you're smart. You understand what I'm doing here. I'm invoking a mood, I'm invoking a vibration or a feeling in which I'm then experiencing riding a horse or transmuting, alchemizing my energetic memory. If I'm doing it with power, certainty, and effortlessness, then wow, it's one way to direct the movie that can be really, really customized to your liking. Peace out.